Okay, so we need some oil, chicken, beef, salt, egg, margarine or butter, milk, flour. So with the flour, I actually use this cup to measure 4 cups of flour. Then we have some green pepper, onions, ginger, garlic, carrots, nutmeg or spices, pepper. Okay guys, so I have washed my vegetables, my onions, my carrots, my green pepper, my ginger and my garlic, and then my pepper. I'm using pepper to add some spice. So I actually pre-boiled the chicken just in normal water and I shredded them into pieces. This is how big and chunky I want them. You can dice them into any size that you want. I've also gotten my vegetables ready. I've chopped my onions, my carrots, and then my green pepper. I also have some grated garlic and ginger, and I've also diced some peppers too to add in some spice. I'll be using some nutmeg for the dough and the fill-in. I'll be using some Maggi for the fill-in, and then some curry as well for the fill-in. I also have 1 egg that I'll be using for the dressing or as the egg wash, and also some milk. I also have some tomato puree that I'll be using for the fill-in for the beef. Okay guys, so these are the ingredients. We're going to start with mushing the beef. You know, it comes in like a square shaped container, so it takes the form of its container. So we're just going to mush it up here with our fork. Okay, so we're through with that now. We're going to prepare our filling. You add in some little amount of oil into your frying pan or your saucepan, and then you heat it up until the oil becomes hot. Then you add in some onions into the hot oil and let it cook for just 1 minute. Stir in the onions. Now you can add in your beef. I will be adding some sufficient amounts of beef because this pie is going to be prepared for the family and we're quite a lot. So you can add in as much or as little as you please, depending on how much you want your filling to be. So you break it in and stir it in nicely. It's looking yummy already, don't you guys think so? Okay, so I'm adding in some more beef so I could get enough filling for everyone's pie. So now I'm adding in some vegetables. I'm starting with some carrots and some green pepper. So you can just add as much as you want. I'm taking in some garlic too. Honestly, people would not really like to add in garlic and ginger, but it really adds some good flavor and taste. It changes the whole taste of the filling and makes it amazing. And mix in the garlic paste evenly so it equally distributes itself into the fill-in. Then I take in some ginger as well, and then I add it into my fill-in. You don't need much garlic and ginger for the beef fill-in because the beef itself is already tasty on its own, But with the chicken, you would need some more amount of garlic and ginger to make your chicken taste good. So I'm also adding in some milk. It gives it a richer, yummier taste. You can add in more milk if you want instead of adding in water, but I'm using mine to make the taste richer and more creamier. So I just add in a little bit more. You can also choose to add water, but water would make the beef a bit more liquefied. Milk would actually make it liquefied, but yeah, it would thicken it at the end and make it more creamier and tastier. So now I add in some salt. With the salt, you can choose to add in any amount that you want depending on how tasty or how salty you want your filling to be. I just add a little salt because I'm not yet done with all the ingredients. So I also like to add in a little Maggi or a little seasoning. As you can see, I've taken very little, not even up to a half cube. So just like 1/4 cube, I just break it in and that's it. That's the main reason I added very little salt, because the seasoning is going to also bring out the amazing taste of the filling. Many people actually cook their beef for about 2 minutes or a minute. I actually preferred cooking the beef for about some 5 minutes or 7 minutes because I want my beef to be properly cooked. I want it to be properly steamed. You know, it's an animal product and it has been canned for a long time, although with preservatives, but for safety I love to cook it for a long time. So I'm adding in some chili. I love my chili diced in my filling. It will be definitely cooked in the fill-in, so you wouldn't have to chew on raw chili, but this is how I love it. And I love to add in some chili to add some spice to make it a bit hot. Okay, mamma mia, it's already looking amazing. Okay guys, so now I have mixed some flour in some water and I'm adding it to my sauce. Probably the texture could be okay for some people, but I want mine to be a bit thicker. It depends on your preference. So you can choose not to add in the flour water at any stage. Okay, so I'm now adding in some tomato puree for my beef fill-in. This should be the final ingredient that you add in. Some people like to add it at an earlier stage, but it usually just dries out or darkens or burns faster. So I like to add it at the final stage. So you just mix it in properly so the tomato cooks and you don't get to taste raw tomato puree in your filling. Okay guys, so you just stir it for a bit and you allow it to cook. You can already see that steam. Okay guys, so our beef puree is ready. Sorry, our beef fill-in. It's so yummy and it smells amazing. Okay guys, so now for our chicken fill-in, we heat some amount of oil as well. We add in some chopped onions and then we stir for a bit. Now we add in our chopped or diced pieces of chicken. Remember, I pre-cooked the chicken for some time. Actually, I didn't overcook it. It was actually undercooked because I know that I was going to cook it again. So depending on how you want your chicken to be, whether a bit thick or softer. So I'm adding in some garlic. For the chicken fill-in, you need enough garlic and ginger so as to make your chicken taste good. Because guys, I'm telling you, These things make the chicken taste amazing. Garlic and ginger makes food taste good. Now we add in some salt. And some pepper. I like to add in more pepper or chili into the chicken fill in. Makes it amazing. Now I'm adding in some seasoning, just enough to be able to season the meat properly, and not a full cube, because we're also trying to watch our health over here. So now I'm adding in my vegetables. I start with my carrots and take some green pepper as well. You can add in as much as you want. I want a lot of vegetables in my chicken fill in, so I'm taking a lot. And this is going to make it so yummy and tasty, and it's going to balance out all the flavors. Looks so delicious already. Okay guys, so you can choose to add in some flour or milk, which I did later on, which I forgot to film. So guys, this is it. It's cooked, it's yummy, it's tasty, it's ready. This is our feeling, guys. So now I'm showing you how I go about the dough. So I sieve my 4 cups of flour, and I'm using an all-purpose flour for this. Ta-da! So guys, we have sieved our 4 cups of flour, and this is the flour that we'll be using for the dough. So right now we're actually going to add in some sugar. Some people don't add sugar, I just like to add in a little bit, and then I add in some salt, which I forgot to film again, I'm sorry. So you just add in a little salt as well, and then you mix it up in the flour. So now I'll add in my nutmeg powder into the flour. Sieving it, I realized it was way too smooth, so I decided to just pour it in. That is half of the nutmeg sachet that I used for the chicken fill-in. So now I'm trying to create a well where I can put the butter in before I start combining the mixture. So guys, there's my butter, my soft butter. Some people actually use frozen butter or hot butter, but I'm using soft butter. So I use 3 sachets of butter, with each weighing 250 grams. And now with combining, I actually sprinkle some flour on top, and I try to knead from outside to inside, trying to combine the flour into the butter, because if you should tackle the butter directly, your hand is going to get all mushy and you will not be able to combine so easily. It will take quite some time. So I think this technique works better in combining the butter and the flour. So basically, this is how it should look like in the first stage. very crumbly and easily broken apart. So in this part where it's dry, you can actually choose to add in some water or some milk to combine, but I prefer adding in some milk. So now you try to add the ingredients together with your hand, like trying to form a dough. You can do this for about 5 minutes. You don't need to overwork it. So now you can add in your milk. I actually had to do this on a surface, so you should practically clean your surface well with some disinfectant and enough water, and the surface should be fine. And we combine the ingredients together. As you can see, the dough is now forming up. If you think you need some more milk, you can, or some more water, you can actually add in some, but just watch out for the texture. We are making crumbly pie depending on the texture that you want. So you want it to, if you want it to hold a bit more, you can add in some more water or milk. So basically, I got my dough together and then I made them into balls so I can easily roll them out. As you can see, it's already crumbling. That is how I want my texture to be. Like I said, you can add in some milk or some water to make it firmer. So just roll this out and you get a cutter, anything that you can use to cut the dough into whatever shape that you prefer. So I'll be using this round item. It's actually the cover of a flask. So that is the shape that I want my pie to be in. So you just cut it and then you take it out nicely. Yeah, it wants to crumble, but that's just how I want it. So guys, there it is. Okay guys, so now we're adding our filling. I'm starting with the beef fill-in, and then I will top it up with the chicken fill-in. So looking on the side, actually there is some sausage rolls that you guys can see there. It's just the same pastry dough that I used, and then I filled it up with sausages and then rolled them. So it's quite simple as well. You can also choose to design your pies or your sausage rolls in whatever forms that you want. Okay guys, so now I'll also top it up with the chicken fill-in. I mean, you can choose to put this in your different doughs, but I want to put it in the same dough. I want it to be extra rich, so it depends on what you guys want to do. So I intentionally overfilled this pie to teach you guys a little trick over here. So basically, if you should overfill your pie, it's probably going to start breaking open even before you put it in the oven. You can literally not close it unless you have a bigger dough and your dough is thicker. So as you can see, even though I forced my way to close the pie, it still opens at some point. So guys, that is something that you should note. Exactly what I'm talking about, guys. Turning it over, it's already opened up. No matter how much you try to force closing it up, it won't work. So guys, note that. So yes guys, a lesser fill in makes it easier to manage and to close the pie. So when you're done filling in your pie and decorating or making your designs, don't forget to use the egg wash on the surface to give it that delicious look. Okay guys, so this is it. Then you poke holes. I told you that I wanted it crumbly, so depending on whether you want it crumbly or compacted. So I'm baking in a halogen oven at 180 degrees for 25 minutes. Okay guys, voila, this is it, our crumbly meat pie. So guys, this is the meat pie. This is how it should look like if you want it crumbly. And it smells so good and tastes good as well. So guys, I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and comment down below. See you guys later. Bye.